What's up, guys? It's the Straight Faced, aka Persistence. And for those of you guys that are new to my videos, you might hear a Boeing or Delta airplane taking off in the background, and that is my PlayStation 4. I don't know if it's loud. I never know how loud it is. I just listen to my recordings afterwards, and then I realize how loud it is. Alright, but anyways, that's my PlayStation 4, and try your best to block out that noise and listen to what I'm saying. So, topic of this video is whether or not you should switch to mental might DPS. I'm not gonna discuss precision in this video, just might. So I returned to the game about 2 weeks ago or 2.5 weeks ago from like a 9-month break away from this game, and the first power that I went after I returned was gadgets. I was a gadgets might DPS, and gadgets is a really good might DPS power, one of the best might DPS powers. Arguably, next to nature might DPS. So, and I realized that a lot of people are gadgets. Gadgets is a common power, in my opinion. A lot of people are gadgets. So I was like, what's a power that doesn't get a lot of love? And then I realized, mental is kind of similar to gadgets in a way in terms of single target, because you have invisibility, which is basically stealth for gadgets. And inside of invisibility for mental, you have 2 big hitters, just like you do with gadgets. And so it makes them similar that way, but in terms of speed, okay, so I'm gonna just say it up front. Gadgets is a better might DPS power, no doubt. But if you're looking for an alternative, then I would say mental is a good power that's similar to gadgets. Definitely not better, like I said, but single target is not bad at all for mental. It's really not. The gameplay that you're seeing in the background was like a week ago when I was helping my friend out with this raid. I'm pretty sure it's like a metal part 1 or metal part 2. I really think it's metal part 1 though, but he needed some gear, so I was just helping him out. And it's an alright gameplay. I had like 55k might or 56k might in this video, and so nothing too impressive, just casual gameplay that you can watch while listening to me. So yeah, so I was saying, how they're similar in a way because of invisibility, and so it's a good alternative in that way. But what I would say is it's slower than gadgets. The rotation is slower than gadgets, whereas when you're gadgets, you are very fast, especially if you have more of the advanced loadouts for gadgets. The rotation will be super fast. So by the time a mental DPS is finished doing their single target loadout on a boss, gadgets will probably go through a rotation and a half by the time you do a full rotation. That's how fast gadgets could be. But they are pretty similar, like I said. And for mental, you're gonna need heat vision, amplified heat vision. So you're gonna need solar amplifier. You're gonna need to max that out. You don't have to, but you have to get it to at least rank 120 if you can't max it out to get the full benefits of mental single target. I'm gonna discuss single target first, and then I'm gonna transition to area of effect. So a good alternative if you don't want to use heat vision for mental single target is terrorize, which is the finisher. So you have that as an option, and the damage is really not that bad, as you guys see by the thumbnail. 44k per second on a single target, and 43.9k I believe per second on a single target with 56k might. So if you have around 63, 66k might, like end game kind of might stats, then you're going to be doing 50 plus Ks with the loadout that I uploaded on my channel. So from that aspect, mental might single target can compete with the best of them. It really can, other than precision, of course. There was a few cases where I was in elite runs, like CTE for example, first boss, where I was out DP. I was keeping up with precision powers, and I was out DPSing a person with 200 artifacts that was might. And that's due in part to part of what makes mental good to me on single target is the fact that there are two powers that are area of effect. So if there are multiple bosses, if you're fighting one boss, if you're fighting more than one boss, like 3 bosses, 4 bosses, 2 bosses, you're going to be punching out good amount of damage to all of them. But you're specifically gonna be doing more damage to one boss that you're locked onto, of course, but you're also gonna be doing damage to everybody around, because you have 2 powers in the single target loadout that are fully area of effect. So in that way, it makes it better than gadgets, if that makes sense, because I feel like when I was gadgets, it was strictly single target unless you incorporated some of the AoE powers. And also with gadgets, you have to be mid to close range, whereas with mental, you can really do a lot of damage by ranging as well, but then you need to be closer to go inside of your invisibility and hit the 2 powers inside of invisibility that hit really, really hard. So that just gives you an idea of what mental is capable of. It is a really good alternative to gadgets. I'm telling you, it doesn't get a lot of love. It's pretty good. I had a really great experience as mental, but I just switched to nature DPS because it was more fun to me, because I love seeing all those crits and numbers when I'm fighting ads, or multiple bosses or bosses with ads. So yeah, that gives you an idea of what single target is like for mental. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comment section. I try my best to share my experiences with single target. So now let's transition into area of effect for mental. So if you're super speed, that's great, because the AoE for mental base by itself does not do a lot of damage. You're gonna need to incorporate movement mode powers if you want to get the full benefits of area of effect for mental DPS. But if you don't want to do that, there's also an alternative where you just need an iconic power called Sonic Cry to use on multiple targets, AoE, and you'll still punch out a good amount of damage. And that loadout is also on my YouTube channel, but if you comment down below and ask me what the AoE loadout is, I'll actually respond and help you out. So in terms of area of effect, gadgets has the upper hand by far. Might not be by far, but it has the upper hand. I also have to keep in mind that the artifacts that I had while I was parsing on single target and area of effect was low. My might was low. So might mental is a very underrated power. You won't see a lot of mental DPSs. I don't know why. It is not a bad power. People just don't have the right loadouts. People don't know what they're doing. That might be the case. Okay, so back to the topic of AoE. So there's a loadout that you can use, like I said, with one iconic power, and you'll be fine. You'll be parsing over 60k if you have a good amount of might. You'll even do 65k plus on 3 targets. Like if you're just gonna parse, if you're gonna do like a 10-second parser and a lead call or something like that. So the AoE aspect part of it is also decent. I wouldn't say it's the best, no, not at all, but it's decent. It can compete, is what I'll say. Definitely can't compete with Nature Might or Electric Might on ads, but if you're talking gadgets, you really won't get blown out by a gadget's DPS if you have the right amount of might and the right loadout, and if you know what you're doing, if you pop your trinket, orbital, supply drop at the right times, you won't get blown out. So it's a little bit less, well, not a little bit, it is less advanced than gadget's DPS, but it does decent damage base. So slower than gadgets, more fun in my opinion. You're gonna see a lot of numbers when you're mental, because like I said, there's 2 area of effect powers. So I recorded this video first try, so I might not have covered everything that I needed to say, but I tried my best to help some of you guys out. It's a decent power. You should give it a try. It's not bad at all. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope that I helped you out in some way, shape, or form. So I'll see you guys in the next DC video that I upload. Peace.